now, we're live. Yes, live from Jay's place. And we're talking
Barbershop Talk.
Yes, Barbershop Talk, where nothing is off limits and everything's on the table.
Everything's on the table. Barbershop Talk.
Come on, everybody. We're here at Jay's place.
Barbershop.
We're talking Barbershop Talk. Barbershop Talk. Barbershop Talk. Where nothing's off limits.
Barbershop Talk.
Barbershop Talk. Barbershop Talk. Barbershop Talk. Everything's on the table.
Barbershop Talk.
Barbershop Talk. Barbershop Talk. Barbershop Talk. Everything's on the table.
Barbershop Talk Live. We are here live at Jay's Place Barbershop, 1927 Olive Road. Listen, a special edition of Barbershop Talk Live. I tell you, this is going to be a special, crazy edition. So thank you for tuning in to Barbershop Talk Live. Listen, I want you, and I'm also talking to you. Tune in to Barbershop Talk Live. Tell your friends, tell your co-worker, tell your church members, call your enemies to tune in to Barbershop Talk Live because we got a special conversation in store for you today. So I want to say thank you for tuning in. Got to give a special shout out to the people behind the screen to put this together. I'm talking about Beverly's Body Butter, Demetrius Johnson. Girl, we watching you. We looking forward to seeing what you got. Give her a call, 706-564-5335. Again, that's 706-564-5335. Whip Senate Shea Butter, Demetrius Johnson, Beverly's Body Butter. Coming up, May the 25th, right here in Augusta, Georgia, at Augusta Common. May the 25th, Augusta, Georgia. Augusta Common, what am I talking about? Good friend J.R. Rouse. J.R. Rouse is putting together his end of the school year block party that they always do many, many years. Great event, great for the community, great for the school kids. So, again, I want you, and especially you, to get yourself together. Go down to Augusta Common, May the 25th, Augusta Common, out of the school year block party. That's Saturday, May the 25th, from 1 to 6 p.m. Also, give them a call. You need any more assistance, more information. It's 706-840-1328. Again, that's 706-840-1328. End of the school year block party. My good friend J.R. Ross is putting it together. So please, man, please, sir, govern yourselves accordingly. Listen, if you have a black business, you're trying to grow your business, you want to expand your business, you want to make your business even better. Also, look at for gabc.org. That's mygabc.org. Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce right here in Augusta, Georgia. So I want you to go online. Again, that's mygabc.org. Check with those persons. Check with the website. Learn different ways to expand your business, grow your business, and make your business better, not only for you, but for your generation. Again, CSRA, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, June the 23rd, what we got going on at Payne College is Angelic Community Resource Development Annual Health Fair. The Annual Health and Wellness Fair. We're putting this event together for many, many years, so I want you to come out, get your HIV test, get your blood pressure checked, get your diabetes screening, your teeth checked, your eyes checked. Listen, we got free food, live free entertainment, a lot of different giveaways, a lot of different raffles, so I'm encouraging you to get yourself together. Mark it on your calendar. Payne College from 2 to 6. Again, that's June the 23rd. Payne College at the Hill Complex. Angelic Community Resource was putting together our annual health and wellness fair, National HIV Testing Day week. Looking forward to seeing you. Bring a friend with you. Again, that's June the 23rd at Payne College, National HIV Testing Week. Angelic Community Resource. Looking forward to seeing you and you and you. Know your status. But listen, as I said before, today is a special day. We're looking at a Saturday Barbershop Talk Live. This is a special day because we got a special guest, special conversation we're going to have, get into some deep conversation, get into some unheard of conversation. You want to give us a call and get into this conversation, call us back at 706-426-1533. Give us a call at 706-426-1533. That's a live call-in line where you are live talking to the guests. No questions off limits. If it's on your mind, let's talk about it. But listen, right now we want to get into this conversation. Listen to my immediate right. You see them around. You heard about him. You see him all over this place. He is your reigning security officer in the CSRA, the one that takes care of the business. If you don't like him, that's on you, but he going to do his job. So who I'm referring to my meeting right is Richard. Somebody say Sheriff Richard Roundtree. I saw Rich.
Hey, what's
Roundtree.
going on, John? Good to be back. Good to be back.
Good to see you, sir. You doing all right?
I am. I'm just telling you, I'm impressed you did that. I'm looking for the teleprompter and ain't one up there. You all that stuff. I thought I'm in the wrong chair here. I look for my teleprompter.
Look at it's a God-given talent.
Okay, all right.
I thank God for the talent.
All right. Well, you're putting it to good use, so I'm
put it to
impressed.
good use.
Color
God-
me impressed.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And listen, I appreciate you coming.
Absolutely. I appreciate the invitation. I'm glad you made time for me.
I mean, no, made time for you. If you could have did it tomorrow at the church, you wanted to. We'd have made it happen. We would have made it happen. So again, with your crazy business schedule that you have, I thank you for talking about Barbershop Talk Live.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, the last time I came here, I had a lot of positive feedback on it. People were very interested in just seeing just the conversation because, a lot of times, when you're talking to the sheriff or a law enforcement officer, it's usually some serious business going on. And people really don't have time just to lay back and have that conversation. So I think the public really appreciated you sitting down and just having that conversation. They say that's a side of law enforcement that they don't really get to see. So I want to thank you for that. That's why I was more than happy to come back.
Okay. Now, that I don't know if you noticed or not, but Barbershop Talk Live, and I thank God for what it's been doing. It's been taking some legs. It's been growing legs. And people have been tuning in. People have been watching, and people have been, responding to the folks that get into what I call the hot seat. So I appreciate the folks watching. I appreciate the people just concerning and caring who I bring on and the talks that they have and the conversations we have. So that being said, I don't know if you had a chance to watch Barbershop Talk Live in your spare time or your busy time, but what happens when we bring on the guests, there's always one or two people out there. There's always one or two now that don't know who the guests are. And for those one or two that been sitting up on a rock or in a cave or somewhere out there on an island somewhere that don't know who you are, let's start off this thing correctly.
Okay.
And look at that camera on Barbershop Talk Live World and tell the people who is Sheriff Richard Roundtree.
Okay. Well, Sheriff Richard Roundtree, I was born and raised right here in Augusta, Georgia. My dad lives in a house less than a mile from this shop right here off Olive Road on Roosevelt Drive. So, went to T.W. Joseph, went to Murphy, walked to school everywhere. So this is my neighborhood. I was here when that Dairy Queen was on the corner. That was my favorite.
Okay.
And then Whataburger.
There you go. There you go.
So this is my neighborhood. But like I said, I was born and raised here. Was fortunate enough, like I said, get a football scholarship to South Carolina State. Went there, studied criminal justice, came back, and gave back to my community and joined the Augusta Police Department. So I've been blessed to be in law enforcement for over 31 years now. And when you said that I was the head security guard, I wasn't offended by that because I started my career at Regency Mall back in 1989 as the mall cop. So I was the sheriff of Richmond County, but I started off as a mall cop.
There you go. With the flashlight.
Yeah, with my flashlight and my handcuff. There you go. But those are some of the best years of my life. Again, this community has given me so much, so I want to give back. Joined the Augusta Police Department until we consolidated in '96. So I was on road patrol, street patrol. Got into crime suppression, so we did street level narcotics. So I did that for a while. Was fortunate enough. Then I was brought up to investigations. I originally started off in property crimes. I started there, stayed in property crimes for a year. Worked that. Then got promoted to violent crimes. Worked violent crimes for about a couple of years. Then got promoted to homicide, and eventually became the lead homicide investigator for the sheriff's office for 10 years. Left there, went to the school board police department for 3 years to run their operations. I ran the operations for the school board police for 3 years, and then ran for sheriff. And have been fortunate enough to be blessed to be the sheriff for the last 12 years, and I'm excited. Like I said, this community has given me so much, so I've come full circle.
Okay, all right. Now, let me piggyback off something you just said, and you caught my ear when you said it. 12 years, you've been the sheriff for 12 years. Now, put your thinking cap on and let's go back in time. When you became the sheriff, and like I said, 12 years, what was your thoughts as becoming the first black sheriff of Richmond County?
Well, 12 years ago. Well, let's go back a little further because we got to go back 20 years ago, really, when I first said I was going to make the run for sheriff. When I was with the Augusta Police Department, even with the sheriff's office, I had no intention, no aspirations whatsoever of being sheriff. I worked in violent crimes. I liked that. Eventually, I probably said I wanted to come up and maybe run my own division in violent crimes, to be a captain or a major within the agency and do my part that way. That was my ambitions. But I was working homicide, and that year it was in 2008 and or 2004, and we had a real high homicide rate very, very early on the first 6 months. And I was looking at the numbers and crunching the numbers. And I'm like, it is something. What is going on? Kind of like what's going on today. We're trying to figure out what is going on with these kids. What's going on with you? So in 2004, I was looking at the numbers, and I kept looking. I looked at all the cases that I had of people who were accused of homicides and killed some people. And I looked at it, and it was one thing that stood out. And it wasn't socioeconomic, wasn't two-parent households, wasn't the neighborhood in which they grew up in. Every person that I had arrested that year and the last previous years for homicide, killing another human being, taking another person's life, had never graduated high school. Did not graduate high school.
Okay.
So at that point, I'm like, hey, that's the key. That is the correlation. That is the connection. We've got to start in school. We got to get involved in the school system. So I went to my sheriff back then, again, who I learned a lot from him. But I ran to him, and I thought I had the cure. Save the world. I thought I had. I went to him and I told him, Sheriff, I said, we got to get to these kids in school. We got to get into education. We got to get into the school. And he looked at me and he called me Tree, because everybody called me Tree back then. And some still do. He said, Tree, he's I'm the sheriff. He said, my job as a sheriff is not to educate them. He said, my job is to lock them up.
Okay.
And when he said that, I knew then that the system can never be changed from within. It had to be changed from the top. That's when I made the decision that only way I'm going to make the difference I want to make in my community is to become sheriff. And then, so I started that journey. I went back to school, got my master's degree, fortunate enough to go to FBI National Academy, just preparing myself to become sheriff and to step into that role. Because then, as it become closer, then you start thinking, oh, this was before President Obama had become president. So, you really want to think about it. Then when you saw President Obama get elected and the impact it did on the country and how the thought pattern, that's when it really sank in how monumental this is going to be in the 40-year history of the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Because we were one of the oldest sheriff offices, because we were one of the original 13 colonies. So we were one of the oldest sheriff offices in the nation. And saying that you have the opportunity to be the first African-American sheriff of the largest full-service sheriff office in the state of Georgia, all eyes are going to be on you. You're going to have the people who are rooting for you to succeed, and unfortunately, you're going to have the people rooting for you to fail. But it's the pressures of a whole community. That's when it really set in, and it became surreal. But had a great support system, like I said, being here from Augusta, being a part of this community, which is great, coming from outside. So I knew a lot of people. I look at some of my teachers, my educators who believed in me. And that's what got me through it. And then, to see the impact when kids see me, and it's funny, especially young kids. Young kids call me by my whole name. And it's just, it's great when you see them, they're like, that's Richard Roundtree. And it lets me know that they're paying attention. That it's making an impact, when a kid comes to me and know your whole name and the excitement on your face, knowing that you are Richard Roundtree, that you're the sheriff and you look like them. It becomes humbling. I'm telling you. Sometimes it makes you drop to your knees sometimes and just be thankful to be in the seat. But it is a lot of pressure. Yeah, because unfortunately, one group of individuals who always gonna want you to fail. I already knew that group. Okay, so I was prepared for them. But when the people that kind of look like you are really not rooting for you, that's the hardest part.
The hardest part about
it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, like I say, during that time, it was a lot of history being made. A lot of folks, like I say, all eyes is on you, and sometimes you couldn't do no right.
Yeah.
You did more wrong than right.
Absolutely.
So, well, again, congratulations on being the first black sheriff.
Well, thank you.
And the many, many years that the history been, the city been around. So, big ups to you on that.
Well, I appreciate it.
Now, as you said, the first black in Richmond County. So, before we go into further CSOA Barbershop Talk Live, I want to test his memory, because this is his second time being on Barbershop Talk Live, and I try to make sure I do my homework. When I bring on guests to sit in what I call the hot seat, I like to do my homework on those guests to make sure we all on the same page. So I want to know, did you do your homework on me? So I'm asking now, did you do some homework on me now, Richard? I'm gonna call you Richard because you're in the barbershop.
It's okay.
So can I call you? No, I'm sorry, Tree.
Yeah, call me Tree. I appreciate that.
I want to know, did you do your homework on me?
No, I ain't look you up and nothing, man. I ain't violate no rules and nothing like that.
All right, so this, in other words, this the one question I ask all the guests that come into the.
Okay.
Do you know where I'm from?
To my hometown?
My hometown.
No, but some kind of way I'm thinking Mississippi.
Not the cricket letter. Well, listen, if you didn't know, I'm from a big little town called Waycross, Georgia.
Okay.
Now, if you get a chance to go down south, you go down to my mom's house, she fix your plate.
Oh, well, okay. That's one reason just to go down there.
Just go down and get your plate.
Okay.
So that being said, when you get a chance to see what Waycross has done, Waycross is the advances, and I look at what you said, what you did over 12 years, a lot of similarities.
Okay.
You know, so again, for the sheriff to be in the position that he has, a lot of responsibility up on his shoulders. A lot of people is looking at him, good or bad. And the same thing what we're doing in my big little hometown, Waycross, Georgia. So when you get a chance to sit down in your crazy spare time, look me up.
Okay, I would do that.
Look up Barbershop Talk Live by
Okay.
way of Waycross,
By
Georgia.
Waycross, Georgia. Okay.
Now
All
listen,
right. They have
also
a statue up here downtown, the home of John.
they're putting up the sign now.
Okay.
They're putting up the sign now.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, also, let me tell you this, because we had a debate a couple weeks ago for my last guest that was on here.
Okay.
And do you know what Waycross is known for?
No. I tell you.
Well, I got to tell you.
Well, okay.
I got to tell you. Serious Story Barbershop Talk
All
Live
right, here we
World.
go.
If you didn't know, let me tell you what Waycross is known for. A few people know that already, and maybe a few people going to find out for the first time. But we
Okay.
are known for inventing fried bologna.
Inventing fried bologna.
Waycross,
Wait
Georgia.
a minute.
If you haven't had a chance to
Wait a minute, wait a minute,
listen, we
John.
are check the books, Google it. Sound man, am I correct, sound man?
I don't know
That's Googleable.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
That's
now, John.
Googleable.
I ain't gonna doubt
That
your
is
word,
Googleable.
man. But I
Googleable.
believe we the people. We've been frying some everything.
No,
I
y'all-
don't know if y'all frying the bologna now. 'Cause
That's Googleable now.
we as a people, we fry everything now. So I think we've been frying bologna for a while. You
know.
said they ain't do it
Now-
to Waycross.
Waycross been around
They
for
the
a
one
long
put it
time.
on to it?
Listen, Serious Story Barbershop
Okay,
Talk Live
okay.
World, you have the chance to
All
Google
right,
it now.
we gotta Google that.
Now, once you Google it, you put it on the screen what
We
the
gotta
answer
Google
is.
that. We gotta
You let
Google
us know
that.
what you find out once you Google it. Barbershop Talk Live World. Again, we are known for inventing the fried bologna.
Okay. I'm gonna
It's-
let you have that.
that's
I'll put-
Googleable.
hey, if that's the case, shout out to Waycross because I love me some fried bologna. So shout out.
Shout out to Waycross, baby.
Shout out to Waycross.
I'm telling you, and listen, when you get the edges fried and the little heel come
I
on,
know how to. Yeah.
it's come from Waycross.
Oh
It
man.
come from Waycross. Go down there,
Okay.
and if you see my mama, she'll tell you.
Okay.
And it's a special recipe. You can't just fry it.
Lord,
Google
you,
it.
You don't dip it in batter and stuff too? Come on,
Like,
John.
it's a little bit more.
Come on now.
This is Googleable.
Okay. I'm
This
gonna
is
Google
all.
it. I'm gonna Google it. But like I said, if so, shout out to Waycross.
Got to be.
Shout
more
out to John Mama. I'm
There
coming
you
for
go,
them
Mama.
bologna sandwich. And now if I'm doing like that, I'm gonna say I'm for them sandwiches. I'm coming for one of them, Mama.
But listen, let's go back on the serious note.
Okay.
You said 12 years and your accomplishments you have done. So let's get a Serious Story Barbershop Talk Live Word. Just a few of the many accomplishments that you have done over 12 years right here in Augusta.
Yeah, we've done some great things. Now, first of all, regardless of the perception of it, our crime rate has dropped in every category for the last 12 years. The only thing that we're struggling with the whole thing that our whole nation is struggling with is gun violence. And we can get into that a little bit later, more specifically how that is a national issue, but how it affects here. But, since I've been here, one of the things I wanted to do that, it's just like a school. When you want a law enforcement agency, you want to be the best and compare yourself to the best in the nation. And the only way you can do that is becoming national standard. So we became state accredited in the last 12 years, become nationally accredited. We've been nationally accredited 3 times now because we get renewed every 4 years. We just got it back in December again, so we're a nationally accredited agency. We're one of less than 100 sheriff offices in the nation to hold a Triple Crown Award that holds all 3 accreditations at the same time. Now, remember what I said, not in Georgia.
Nation.
In the nation, less than 100 hold the Triple Crown Award on accreditation, and we are one of them here in Richmond County.
Now that's Googleable too.
That is Googleable too.
That's Googleable too.
That is
Okay.
Googleable too.
All right.
We started a Citizens Police Academy, Citizens Firearms program, Citizen Advisory Board. We created an intelligence unit here where we do intelligence-led policing, where we got civilians where we go and monitor crime. We're now we've been doing up and running a real-time crime center where we started our camera system that we're going to be starting monitoring them in real time here in Richmond County. We started a full-time gang task force unit because we saw the gang issues that we were having here in Richmond County. So we got one of those going up now. We do some youth programs, which we've done. Every year we sponsor 4 youth teams, football team, girls and boys basketball team, youth, and a baseball team through the sheriff's office. We do a Kids and Cops camp every year. We do our burgers and shakes every year, community event. Hey, my gala. You came to my gala. With our gala, our charity gala. We donated over $100,000 back to this community to groups that are doing stuff right here in Richmond County. And that's not taxpayer money. That is money that was generated, through the event and given right back to the CSR groups that are doing here. That's one of the things that we're most proud of. We also created a community services division, which that division, their sole purpose is to interact with community events, to meet with the organizations. We go down to the fair. We do Idea Kid every year for free of charge. We do those events. Their sole task is, like I say, to reach out to community organizations, to go in that. Like I was telling the bishop here today, we're on our 22nd Citizens Police Academy, which is a 12-week academy where we allow citizens to come through and see every aspect of our agency, and everyone just revels at that because we just show it to them. We show the ins and outs of everything that we do. So, those are just some of the things that we've accomplished over the last 12 years. We're looking for great things in the future, regardless of what you read. This city is growing, and you can tell that by all the industry that's coming here and the growth. And and that's why I try to get people to understand. If your city was so bad, if you think it was so on fire like people lead you to believe, why are all these businesses coming here? Why are industries coming here? Why are jobs coming here? Richmond County, things are so bad. It just doesn't fit the national narrative. So, got a great team. We diversified our team. We going back when you talking about I was first African American, and I think I told you this last time that before I became sheriff. When I took over, and they looked at the demographics of the sheriff's office, and because our first accreditation, the guy had looked at it, he said, hey, one of the things that gave us a little bit of concerns, he says that on your staff, for your people, your 700 employees, we see you only have about 34% African American or minority employees. And I told him, well, I inherited this agency. I say, when I inherited, it was only 13%. So I said, you looking at the 34. I say, in 3 years, we brought it up. I say, well, 13 when I got it. Because like I said, I looked on they gave me an organization chart of the command staff. And they said African-American above the rank of lieutenant. And they had 1. And I was looking, I'm like, I went to the people gave me, and I said, who is this one African-American that's above the rank of lieutenant in the sheriff office? I said, who is that? That's you, sheriff. I said, oh.
Okay.
So that's the one. I said, I'm the one. So before I became sheriff, that number was 0. So that number was 0 before I became sheriff. So we diversified our command staff now. We have 5 African American females, 3 African American males, another Jamaican Chinese male on my command staff. So we've diversified it. And again, I said, our sheriff office and your sheriff office should reflect the community in which you live in. I said that when I was running 12 years ago, that I'm going to make this agency look like the community in which we serve. It needs to be reflective of it. So we've done that, and that's one of the things, too, that we're proud that we're able to diversify that command staff and put people in leadership roles who might not have had that opportunity before.
Okay. So if you got a question for our special guest, Sheriff Richard Roundtree, please, sir, give us a call, 706-426-1533. Again, that's 706-426-1533. Got a special question for myself? Also, give us a call. That same number, 706-426-1533. We got a question from the floor?
This question is from Shabazz. If you are reelected, what can you improve with the sheriff department?
Well, I think some things that we've just been mentioning that we do in our real-time crime center with manpower shortages that are short throughout the nation, not just in Richmond County. So with that real-time camera system that we're going to do, we started, that's one of my original promises. We started in the downtown corridor, but my goal is to have it countywide like some of the major cities throughout the nation. If you go to any progressive city, you'll see that all of them has a community-oriented wide camera system. So that's one of the things that we gotten funding for, finally, for the downtown that we're going to expand out into the county in the next 4 years. So we're happy about that. The other thing is, like I said, we really got to manage find a way this challenging youth violence that we have. And I keep telling everybody, this is not a law enforcement issue. This is a community issue. When you got 13-year-olds taking people's lives, 13, 14, 15-year-olds intentionally taking someone's life, there's a community issue. There's a community problem. So, like I said, I'm born and raised in this community. I've been here for the last 12 being sheriff. So, again, we're going to try to get some groups together and tackle this as a community issue and not just a law enforcement issue. Because, like I said, you can't lock your way up out of a problem. You just can't do it. Some people think you can, and some demographics want you just to lock people up and forget about it. But you can't. But we got to come together as a community and not just looking for the law enforcement to save you. We're going to be right on the front lines fighting with you like we've been the last 12 years. Like I said, our numbers have been down in every category, and I think they continue to go down if we get back to being community involved and getting these families, churches, and civic organizations invested in this issue. Because, I've said it before, when we talk about gang violence, there's not a homeless gang member in Augusta. There's not a homeless gang member in Augusta. There's not. So they go into somebody's house. They bring these guns into somebody's home every night. Just the other day, when we had that 13-year-old who is accused of murder, he was on the run for 2 days. Now tell me, John, how can a 13-year-old have the resources to be on the run for 2 days?
Somebody hiding them out.
For 2 days, a 13-year-old.
Somebody hiding them out.
Yeah, that's a community issue. That's a community problem. So that's one of the things that, again, we really got to emphasize. I'm not afraid to say it. It's affecting the African American community, and I said it before. Our problem is we got little black boys killing little black boys, and certain parts of Augusta or certain parts of this area is really not concerned about that because it doesn't affect them. It doesn't affect them, so they're not going to throw any resources to it.
So let me jump in real quick. Now I know Bishop got a question in a few minutes, but
Okay.
Bishop, let me jump in here real quick. Now, what did you say to the people that's watching, and also the ones that want to say to you, if it's good or bad, it's your fault. So when it's good or bad, it's your fault. Now, you talk about the 13-year-old killing the 14 and the 15-year-olds. So if it's under your watch, it's still the sheriff's fault. Now, what would you respond to the people that say that?
Well, and I tell people, I chose to sit in the seat, so I can take the criticism. Absolutely can. But I also offer solutions to the criticism too. And that's why I'm saying this is a community issue. This is a community problem. This is not a law enforcement problem. This is not a Richard Roundtree problem. But it affects Richard Roundtree because guess what? Richard Roundtree have 2 young sons, black sons, that was raised in this area. So that's why it becomes, it's not just a Sheriff Roundtree problem, it's a Richard Roundtree problem. But because I sit in the chair, it's my job to try to bring solutions to the table. And that's what we've been doing. Like I said, I think I prepared myself prior to being sheriff. And I tell you, I worked homicide for 10 years as the lead homicide investigator. I worked all child deaths for 10 years. I've seen more death in this community than one person really should see in a lifetime. But I did that and still chose to sit in the seat and take that responsibility because I've seen senseless death. So, yeah, I take the criticism, absolutely. But I let them know that I'm always the first one trying to come up with resolutions and to solve the problems, too. So, like I said, I choose to sit in this chair. So I got to take the good with the bad.
Okay, Bishop Green, you got a question for us, Bishop Green?
Yes. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Bishop.
Good to see you again, Tree. Listen, I talked to you before, and many times I've heard you say that the media just don't put out good news from the sheriff department. Everything is always bad, And if the folks are not hearing anything good, then how do you deal, first of all, with the bad? And some of the stuff that I'm getting ready to, just bring to you, how do you deal with this? Because people are talking about this around the CSRA. Right now, number one, We have a lot of, and they have filmed them, a lot of oversized and overweight police officers. Some can't hardly get in the car, they're so large. And we're trying to figure out how are they going to run down those young boys that you were talking about if they really take off and go between the alleys and the projects and stuff like that. Because they're really, really on the heavy side. Now, I don't know, because I remember when I was on your advisory board that all officers had to take a physical, and they had to meet that physical requirement in order to continue to be a police officer. Is that still in place also? Because we're trying to find out. Yesterday, even when the red lights were out between Martin Luther King and Dean Bridge Road, there was a young lady out there, and she's really heavy and just about able to get into the uniform. And so we're trying to figure out what's happening there. And also, the bad news is that, we are down. We need about another 140 police officers on the department, and some are retiring early, and some are leaving, and some are upset, and they're not pleased. And we're trying to figure out, how can we protect the citizens if we are down with police officers, if we don't have what we need. I'm going to just let you start with those two, and then I have one more.
Okay, absolutely. And let me go back to your physical fitness assessment. And I will tell you this, and this from our your Citizen Police Academy. We are the only agency in this area that has a physical fitness program.
Hold up, Tree. Now, you mind if I call you Tree?
I ain't got no problem. Google it.
Listen. Now, Bishop, I got to jump in because when he says something, as you know, this is Barbershop Talk Live, and we can't go live, and anything can happen, and we're going to say anything. So now what you just said, you are the only agency that has a physical fitness division.
Program that correct. And deputies, if they don't pass the year, they're not eligible for promotions or transfers or anything. But we the only one. We started that, when you was in the Citizen Police Academy. Okay. That's something that y'all input on about how it's going to look, how it's going to work. Before they even hired, they got to do a physical assessment before they can even get an interview. But that's only in Richmond County. No other agency around here has that in place, and they have to take it every year.
I want to jump in there so bad.
Okay, please do.
Google it. Do you mind if I jump in there?
Nah, go ahead.
I got to jump in there because listen, this is Jay's Place Barbershop. Mm-hmm. So I am not allowed to cut anybody's hair if my haircut don't look right. Mm-hmm. It's a travesty. It don't even seem right. Why do I cut your head if my head didn't look right?
Okay,
so I got to look the part, right? Mm-hmm. So when you tell me, you didn't tell me, you told the Barbershop Talk Live world that there's a physical agency that's involved with the Richmond County Sheriff Department.
We have a physical assessment that when they have to do.
Now
shouldn't
you look the part?
Well, yeah, as sheriff, I look the part. You see me in a suit? Have you seen me in a suit? You see me in a tux. Come on now, John.
Listen,
you seen me in a tux, ain't you?
Listen,
I'm an executive, man.
It ain't me.
I'm an executive. Well, I'm telling you. But John, I look.
You look good.
But look here. But I'm telling you like Bishop too. Now I'm gonna go back to what he said. I ain't jumping out the car running by nobody. Now them days over. Now I done did it now, but those days over. I'm just saying. Well, I told you see me in the tux. I'm an executive.
Don't be the track coat sitting down now.
Yeah, but look here. I'm just saying.
We don't want you to be the track coat sitting down.
I'm the athletic director. I ain't on the field. Okay, John, I'm just saying.
This ain't me.
I'm just saying. I'm telling you. But tell him I'm up in the box. I'm up in the box, dog. I'm sorry. I'm up in the box with the refreshments and the snack. That's where I'm at now. All right, let's be honest now. I'm an executive. I done run and gun for a long time now. I did it. Let's be real. You say be real.
It ain't me.
Well, let's be real. I'm just telling you.
It's the people.
Let me get back to Bishop's question since you done jumped in. Now I told you I'm up in the skybox. Now I'm just telling you.
but listen, Barbershop Talk Live world. Listen, Tree, I got to switch gears for me.
Well, I need to finish Bishop's question. Now I need to finish it.
Listen, I got to pay a bill. Can I pay a bill?
Okay, go ahead.
Let me pay a bill.
Yeah.
Barbershop Talk Live world. Listen,
let me get a snack while you're doing that.
He gonna get him a granola bar.
Yeah.
We gonna see us over at Barbershop Talk Live world. We're gonna pay a bill. Listen, I want you to put your attention, put your face, put your attention onto the screen. My good friend right here in the CSOA Felicia Lee, she has a company called True Therapy. True Therapy is a company that she's put together for counseling, for your mental health, for your spiritual health, your overall health. Right there on Central Avenue. Again, it's called True Therapy. Watch the screen. We'll be back in just a few minutes. My good friend Felicia Lee will be back in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Life is full of challenges and struggles, but there's no reason you should have to face them alone. At True Therapy, we provide support and guidance to help you become the best version of yourself. As a mental health counseling center, we provide a full range of clinical behavioral health services to children, adolescents, adults, and families. Our experienced team of licensed counselors and psychiatrists work closely with patients to understand their situation and develop a personalized treatment plan with an emphasis on wellness and prevention. Whether you are struggling with mental illness, substance abuse, relationship and marital difficulties, or the daily stress and challenges of life, we are here to help you find a positive path forward, dedicated to making our services as convenient and accessible as possible. We offer treatment in office, by phone, or via telehealth. Find the help you need. Schedule an appointment at True Therapy today.
Barbershop Talk Live. We're back live at Jay's Place Barbershop, 1927 Olive Road. That's my good friend Felicia Lee right here in the CSOA on Central Avenue. Again, the company is called True Therapy. Mental health, spiritual health, physical health, anything you need, some type of counseling, get in contact with us, truetherapy.com, right here in Augusta, Georgia. Felicia Lee, again, it's called True Therapy. Tree.
Yes.
You good?
I am.
I had to pay that bill.
Hey, man, no problem.
Well, listen, get the crumbs off your mouth, because he had a granola bar.
Okay, then, yeah.
He had a granola bar
I did,
during the commercial break, so we back. He's looking the part now. So again, as you were saying earlier about the physical part of the
we don't want to have one, and like I said, through our Citizen Police Academy, they help us design it to see what the thing. So they have to do a mile run every year, push-ups, sit-ups, bench press a certain percentage of their body weight.
Yes.
Every year, some standards that we come up. But then we also have gender norming standards like the military do, and for age as they get older. They have to do less, but our citizens help design that. That's been in place for at least 10 years now. But again, we're the only one that have that program. But like you say, with anything else, we all can stand to be in better shape. Right? And I agree with you, Rich. Even to me, everybody can stand to be in better health, absolutely. But like you said, or like I just told you, I ain't the one out there doing the heavy lifting. I ain't out there running and gunning out there no more. But going back to give me your second question again, because I wanted to cover both of your questions. I know you said another.
Okay. Also, the numbers for the police force.
Okay, yeah, about staffing. And again, now, staffing is down nationally, not just in Richmond County. You go to Columbus, you go to DeKalb, Macon. Everybody is short on law enforcement. And this started about 4 years ago with the George Floyd and the social justice movement, when officers were really getting scrutinized, and people started. You had more officers retiring these last 4 years than you have in the last 20, just because of, like I say, the negative scrutiny that's been put on law enforcement before. Because if you look at it before, and let's go back 10 years. 10 years ago, you almost never heard of a law enforcement officer being prosecuted, right? And people talk about you never see them go to trial, go get convicted and stuff. Now, what? Every shooting, every something happen, whether justified or you think it's justified, not justified, they're going through the criminal justice system. And officers are now just saying, and some of even the family members saying, why am I going to put my life on the line for not a whole lot of money every day for total strangers? And then as soon as something goes awry or something that looks kind of funny, it doesn't look right, I'm being scrutinized or I'm being prosecuted. And people saying it ain't worth it. I'm going to put all it online and you're not even going to back me up. So that's one of the things too. And the other perception is, when we say we're down 150 positions, those are not just deputy positions. Those are, I got 150 civilian positions. Those are in records, those are in intel, those are in purchasing, those are in admin. Those are not just deputies. So, the numbers look a little screwed. But like I said, every agency is down. Like I said, I went to my police convention in January, National Sheriff's Conference, and like I said, the cab down 250 people, and all they do is the jail. They don't even do law enforcement stuff like we do here. My staffing numbers, but we're improving. We have two full-time recruiters now that we've got. We've hired an HR specialist to kind of expedite the background checks that some of our officers were doing before. So we've streamlined that. So now our numbers are rising. But again, we never missed a call. We've never missed a call. We've always responded. And I tell you, like I tell everybody, that's the perception of it. Let me ask you in time, when you seen a police car on a call, when the last time you ever seen just one car? When the last time you ever seen one car? And if we're so short, why you got 6, 7 cars that's showing up to things? But that's just the narrative some people want to give. But again, everybody's down. I tell people like this. I went to Burger King the other day, and the drive-through window was closed because they ain't had nobody run the drive-through. So it's not just in law enforcement. But like I said, because we're so large and we answer so many calls, we are responding to them. But like I said, our numbers are improving. We realize, just like everybody else, like I was at a forum last week, and Dee Griffin was moderating it, and she said her son saw the sign in Augusta, again, like from DeKalb County, recruiting in Augusta to come to the cab. And he's like, why are they recruiting in Augusta to come to the cab? You know, you got agencies now around the nation, they're offering $10,000 signing bonuses, $15,000 sign-on bonuses. This is what some of the other aides doing because of the shortages, but because we're so large, we're filling the gaps. Guys are working some overtime. They're getting paid to do it, which I'm happy to do that. In my day when I was running Gun and Bishop, they ain't pay us no overtime. You just came in and say, look, you can get some comp time, and we'll let you off when we can let you off. So we at least compensate them for it. So we're seeing our numbers start to increase. But again, like I said, with the social justice movement, you look at it, you can Google it. Googleable. About the number of law enforcement people who retired in the last 5 years has been staggering, and people are just not getting into the profession anymore.
No, I was thinking because, and this is the last one I want to throw at you. You know, I got one more, but if have times I'll ask it later on in the program. But this is the last one I wanted to get to. And I was thinking, like some of the other people, maybe some of those officers are retiring early because right now I think you have 5 lawsuits against Richmond County Sheriff Department. I think 3 is because of the inmates that had the problem with your officers. Mm-hmm. And then there's 2 other officers now that are suing. And that's 5 lawsuits right there that you're dealing with. Now, I don't know whether you're able to talk about that, whether it's still under investigations or whatever. I don't know, but some of those things, I know if you can't address it now, will you address that in the future? And they also said because I think in this last year, in 2023, about 20 to 40 officers were arrested or either terminated. And they were trying to figure out that. The number, I think, is between 20 and 40. And so, you know, those are negative stuff coming to the Sheriff Department. But how do you continue to control that, and how do you deal with that? And are you able to talk about the 5 lawsuits?
Not the current lawsuits, but I mean, I'll tell you, as Sheriff, and a lot of people don't realize, Bishop, I get sued all the time. As a sheriff, car accidents, calls. I've been sued so many times, but that's in government. People sue government. You know, like I said, in the 2 lawsuits that you're talking about now, those come from 2 people that I terminated. So, you know, you can think of whatever the motivation you want to think about that is. When you talk about, again, about the officers who've been locked up or terminated, guess who locked them up? I did. Because if you do wrong, you break the law. I'm not going to just fire you and kick you down the can if you can go work at Midville or some other small agency that you see a lot of people do when you look back on records of people that they work for 7 different agencies and have been fired and fired. I don't fire them. If you do wrong and you break the law, I lock you up. So, you know, it's not no surprise when people say, well, you had 30 people locked up in the last 2 years. Yeah, because I'm the one locked them up. I know how many I had, and I'm going to continue to lock them up. If they break the law, some people don't deserve to be in this profession. If they come across me, then I'm going to make sure they're not in this profession. So, you know, I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it as the fact that we hold people responsible and accountable, and we're not going to sweep it under the rug. But then another thing, too, Bishop and I tell you, like we talked about the media, you think we the only sheriff office that had somebody locked up? But we don't want you hear about. You think it ain't happening in the counties next to us? You think that ain't happening? I think they just had one last week. You don't hear it on the news often. You see a bird, but you don't hear that. So, you know, that's the other thing I look at it. But the point I put at, I don't look at it as a negative to the fact. I looked at the fact that I'm going to hold you responsible. And again, I'm not going to kick it under the rug. I'm not going to run from it. And I tell people, I will lock you up and fire you. So I have no issue with that. You know, people want to make it as a negative. That just shows who I am as an individual. And as long as I'm sheriff, it's going to continue to happen. If you break the law, you're going to go to jail.
Okay, we got a question from the floor.
Roundtree, this is from DJ. As you know, the police have commercials on drunk driving. Why not run some local commercials about gangs and gang prevention? What are your plans for this community in the high crime rate?
And let me reverse do that when they say high crime rate. Last year, we averaged each year about 39 homicides, and we are the largest full-service sheriff office last year. So we average about 39 homicides a year. Okay. Macon Bibb last year, 72 homicides. They're smaller than us. Columbus, Muskogee, 107 homicides. And so we got a high crime rate. Which one you rather be in, Columbus, Muskogee, Macon Bibb, or you rather be in Augusta? So let's do numbers to numbers here. But the thing about it is, one thing we talked about, we hired our own media specialist, and I was telling Bishop this the other day, that we're just not going to rely on the news to tell our story. We're going to start telling our story. So we hired a young man out of college who majored in media communications, and he's running our pages, he's setting up stuff. So we're going to start telling our stories and telling the things that we're doing. When I mentioned before about the gang task force, we have a gang task force where we've done 6 major gang operations. If you saw, about a month ago, we indicted 30 gang members federally, because that was a 1.5-year gang operation. And then to tell you, John, I don't know if you saw that interview, we took enough fentanyl off that gang in a 1.5 years, enough that we seized enough that could kill 3.5 million people. Now just think about that for a minute. Enough fentanyl out of Augusta in the last 1.5 years working this gang operation that we indicted 30 individuals that could kill 3.5 million people. That's what we did in Richmond County. So that's the things that we are doing. And like I said, so those things don't get told enough. But so we are combating, and we got somebody, like I said, to tell our story. DJ, I do agree with you in the fact that it needs to be publicized more, and we're doing it. We would hope that the news would partner with us more and kind of show these things. But we're going to start telling our own story. And we've hired individuals to do that. But, you know, just let that sink in for a minute. And that's from our gang task force who did that.
Well, let me ask you this now, Tree. As you know, I get these different questions that come in from the floor, from the community, and folks that's call in and just want to get online. So I jotted a few questions down myself.
Okay.
So here's just one of the questions I did get a chance to jot down.
Okay.
So make sure I'm not making these questions
Okay,
up. You see the questions, I see the questions.
I got you, no
so
problem.
Make sure I ask the question correctly. So
I told you, nothing's off limits.
Nothing's off limits.
There's
Barbershop
nothing,
Talk Live
I've been
World,
here for 12 years. I asked for being in the seat. I asked to be in the seat. Yep.
You see the question? So the question I got to the floor is, and it came from the audience, it came from the community. What's the problem with the jail that's going down the way it's going now, with the doors not locking, the prisoners don't have an adequate place to sleep? Everybody talk about the food, so stuff like that. So the prisoners not safe, the security guards are not safe. So what's the problem with that? Now also what they added to that question is there's a huge budget that the security, that sheriff office got, right? Mm-hmm. So based on that budget that the sheriff office got, there should be enough money in that budget to take care of those locks being fixed, take care of those food, take care of the sleeping arrangements. So now, if you didn't get a chance to see this show that we got yesterday, we had a show on yesterday. We had Matt Aiken, and we also had Jordan Johnson on. And I made a quick comment, and it was on Barbershop Talk Live. You go back and watch it. And the comment that I made, because what I was looking at, what I was listening to was, the money ain't going where it's supposed to go. The money ain't going where it's supposed to go. Now, Tree, sometime, I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw some stuff when I went downtown. This is what I saw.
Okay.
This is what I saw. And this is the same things I see when I go downtown and I see it on the ground outside the courthouse. That this is a white envelope. As you can see, it's a white envelope. Mm-hmm. And what goes in these envelopes are monies. So sometimes what happened, based on Barbershop Talk Live World audience, they tell me this stuff now. They say sometimes the leaders, get these white envelopes, and when they get these white envelopes, that will make stuff not happen. This ain't me. This the Barbershop Talk Live world. So when these white envelopes get passed around under the table, under somebody's arm, then we want to realize why stuff ain't getting done. So the people of Barbershop Talk Live world want to know, why is the jail falling apart? So they really asked me to tell you, did you get a white envelope?
John,
I'm just, this ain't me now.
Look here.
This ain't
Look
me.
here.
This the Barbershop Talk Live world.
Because I want to know what it looked like. This the first white envelope I've ever seen. So I want to know what it looked like.
Remember, I don't want to know.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to know.
This the first white envelope I've seen. So
people, because again, as we said earlier in the earlier part of the show, whether it's good or bad, it's up on your watch.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether it's good or bad, it's on your watch.
Absolutely.
So they want to know why the jail falling apart, and you tow down 401. Now 401 gone. Now we're going to finish the road. And
now, you know they towed it down before I became sheriff, right?
Well,
I'm just saying, you know that.
It's on your watch.
Okay. It wasn't under my watch.
Well, now,
it is now. But I can't make the building go back up, John.
But
let me address for you. Let me address for you.
Hold it.
I know I ain't gonna hold it. No.
Run it. Go.
No.
The people want to know.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Look, we fixed the locks. Okay. We had to put money into it. But again, let me bring this to you too. These locks were being defeated throughout the nation. These were prisoners were doing. They had found a way to, with these electric locks, to jam these locks so they won't lock. And then they passed it around. It was happening all over the nation. It was something happened. But we went to the commission, asked for some money to fix them, and we fixed those locks. So now we're totally secure facility. Now let me get to the other part about it. Well, let me before I get to that part.
Okay.
Maintenance in the jail. Understand this. I'm a cop. I ain't no plumber. Okay. Everybody don't realize this, that the sheriff office, even though we run the jail, Central Services handles the maintenance for all government buildings. That is a whole county department. So when the roof fails or the plumbing leaks or the light fixtures go, that's Central Services. That's not sheriff office. I'm not a contractor. That's Central Services. And people don't realize that. Now, we're in charge of running the jail, but in charge of fixing it, that doesn't even fall under my department. So that money, I don't have no money in my budget to fix anything in that jail.
Well, see, now, as of now, we just found that out. You just not saying that.
Yeah, but I'm saying
so maybe that should be to the public, so we won't.
And that's why I said
blame the sheriff office.
That is Central Services, okay. Right? Just like when people used to blame us about 911. 911 doesn't work for the sheriff office. They have a 911 director. People call me and complain about 911. I say I'm not in charge of 911. Just like facilities, maintenance facilities, anything that happens in the building is Central Services. But now let's go back to the deeper problem. We talking about maintenance in the jail and overcrowding issues. I went 8 years ago to the commission and said, look, this is going to be an issue. This is not an issue now. We need to think about the next splosh. And the next splosh came, and it passed, and they didn't do anything about it. When another 5 years, the splosh came up again, and I told them, you got to expand the jail, and we got to fix some of the deficiencies because this jail is old, and we run it 24/7. We got over 1,000 inmates in our jail, and these ain't misdemeanors; these are felony people. Splosh came, it was in the splosh. Right until the new director came, all the stuff from the park was taken out about the jail expansion, and guess what? You're supposed to get a water park now. So congratulations on your water park.
All right.
But you still ain't got a water park.
Ain't got a water park.
And now you don't even have, now when they told them how crucial it is, now they all of a sudden, they got to try to come up with this money for the jail expansion, which I told you 8 years ago, you could have used 2 splosh packages ago. So this is not something I'm just not bringing up. This is something we anticipated 8 years ago. And the county commission, when they did the splosh, left it out.
Okay, now they are talking to me in my ear. They said they're gonna give us another 10 more minutes, so I got to buy. They say we're gonna give us 10 more minutes.
Y'all done got hot temper.
Yeah,
I ain't got nothing in my ear.
So they telling me
you
we
got
got
the teleprompter. You got the teleprompter. You got things in your ear. I ain't got none of that.
So they say we're gonna get it. Cause we got a lot of questions. So we got
Okay.
another question from the floor.
Sheriff Roundtree, this is a follow-up. Thank you for the information about the crimes out of all of Augusta, but can you speak specifically about some high crime areas and what you plan to do about the high crime areas within the city of Augusta? And then we also have Shabazz again saying, how can you, as Sheriff Roundtree, help the youth stay out of gangs and stop picking up guns? And what can Roundtree do as a role model to help the youth?
Well, let me just do the second one quick. I think I've been trying to be a role model since my whole 31-year career here in Richmond County. Like I said, that's why we started our youth program. That's why we have kids and cops camps every year that we do. That's why we have a champs program where we go into the school and talk to fifth graders every year. These are programs that we installed since I've been in share. I go and speak to youth. I've been speaking to youth when I was working homicide. I mean, 20 years ago, I was in classrooms and talking to kids. So this ain't something that I have not done all my life. But now, going back to you when you talk about high crime areas, that is the difference in Richmond County because we're a consolidated government, that there's no isolated pockets of crime. It is so, because people asked one time about, hey, you ever thought about the shot spotter program that they had in Savannah? Well, that program only works in a concentrated area. When you got areas large as Richmond County, when you got gun violence on the south side, you got gun violence in East Augusta, you got gun violence in West Augusta, there's no centralized place. Now, again, the problem comes in, which anything else, and this is not rocket science, your high crime area are going to tend to deal with your low income housing area. That's national standard. That is not just Richmond County. It is, unfortunately, high crime happens where poor people live. It is. I'm sorry. That's just the reality of it. Now, I know some people have no control over the circumstances in which they live, but that's usually where your high crime area, and that's national statistic. Now, what we do is when we do find these areas where I told we have intelligence-led policing, where they look at the numbers and look at where these crimes are happening, that we try to concentrate our patrols based on those areas. So that's why we don't have a one-size-fits-all area where there used to be, where we used to have beats, and you had a certain number of officers in every part of the county, regardless of the crime, where you may have one part of the county, let's say way out in South Augusta off Hessenback Bean Road, where they don't get but 3 calls the whole weekend. Then you got somebody down on East Boundary, when they getting 3 calls every hour, you need more officers on East Boundary than you need on Hessenback Bean Road. So that's what we started doing, intelligence-led policing based on the numbers. But that's another thing, too, that we need the citizens to do, is we need them to report the crime activity so we can collect the data. We have a team, and I call them my little Tri-Lambda squads because they're little nerds down in the hole. All they do is do numbers, crime predictor patterns, crime statistics, showing where crime happened, what day of the week crime happened the most time, and we try to put officers in those areas based on those numbers with intelligence-led policing. So we're not just guessing. So sometimes you may see a large number of police at one particular time, and sometimes you see people say, well, I don't hardly see a police, because a lot of crime is not happening there. And a lot of people say, well, I don't hardly see a deputy in my area a lot. You know what? That's a good thing. Because if you're seeing a deputy in your area all the time, that means you having problems in your area. So let's look at it from a good point instead of saying I hardly ever see an officer, saying it's a good thing that I don't have to see officers because they're someplace where they're needed. So we put them where we see crimes are happening. So that's just one of our intelligence-led policing to help reduce crime.
Let me ask this question again. If I'm gonna jump to question 6, I'm just gonna skip around.
First of all, could you move this envelope next to me?
We're gonna move the envelope.
Yeah, I'm about doing that.
As long as you know what the envelope is for.
Yeah, won't you just move the envelope next to me? I don't know what it's for. I don't know what it's for.
Envelope has a lot of meanings to it.
They said the devil's allowing that. Now, I don't know what it's for. Now, some people may know.
Some people know.
Sheriff Roundtree, Tree don't know.
Tree
don't know about them.
All right. So listen now. What I want to bring to your attention, going to question 6.
Okay.
Question 6 says, some of the people just want to know, are you tired? Are you tired? And just to expand on question 6, when they ask you the question, are you tired? And it would pertain to the election that's going on now. Mm-hmm. So when I say that and when they say that, based on the stuff that we see in the CSRA, the stuff that we see, when I say the stuff, they referring to the signs, the billboards, and your competitors that are out there running the ground, hitting the ground hard. So every time you look around, we see your competitors out there waving, talking to people, signs all over the place, all this kind of stuff. So some people say, well, maybe Tree just tired. He tired of it. He don't want to do it no more. He finna just let it go. So we want to know, and again, this question 6. Mm-hmm. Are you tired because you're not putting in the effort that we see with the other competitors putting in the effort in? Because maybe you're just tired. And if you are tired, or we just want to know.
Oh, no.
Because again, this ain't my question. I don't want to know. Now, the people want to know.
No, I got you. And now people ask this. Look, we're running a different campaign because the competitors who are out there, nobody know who they are. They got to be out there. I've been doing this 31 years. People have seen my work. They've seen our work. So when you see these people out here talking to people, they got to, because nobody never heard of them.
Wait a minute. Let me jump in there.
Okay.
So are you telling me you are confident that you're gonna win?
Absolutely, I'm
Or
confident.
you just arrogant that you're
No,
gonna win?
I am confident
So
to the fact.
you don't need to put out the signs. You
No,
don't, you
no.
don't,
What
you
I'm
just,
saying is,
you got it in the you got it in the
listen,
bag.
listen. No, this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I believe in yard signs, not road signs, because I say signs don't vote. When people put your name in the yard, then that's when the people are going to vote for you. So we put ours into people. You can stick up a sign on the side of the road. Look, 12 years ago, my opponent had $250,000 in every sign in the world. We had $45,000. And the few signs we had, we'd get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and move them, make it like we had some more. So signs don't vote, and I've seen that 12 years ago, and that's what I tell people. That is not an indication of support. That is somebody putting money out there who's trying to put their name out there. We're trying to put a product out there. We're trying to put our work out there, and I think we've done that over the last 12 years. I think I've done that over the last 31. Like I said, before I became sheriff, I was putting in the work then. I was leading homicide investigator. I was leading people. I was in charge of people. I ran an organization. Now you got individuals who say they want to run the largest full-service sheriff office in the state of Georgia and never supervise 5 people. Now how does that sound, John? It's like you.
Okay.
It's like you give your $150,000 Escalade, giving the keys to your 15-year-old son who got his driver's license. You tell him, hey, don't scratch it. So I was doing things before I became sheriff.
Okay, now let me go to question 10. You see, I'm making this stuff up.
Okay, you're going from 6 to 10. Okay, you're jumping around.
I got to jump around because it ain't me.
Okay.
The people want to know.
Okay.
Now, just in case it don't go your way on Tuesday, May the 21st, and you're not elected as a sheriff, who would you endorse?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't endorse none of the
No,
candidates.
I would not, because like I said, they haven't put in the work. They don't have the experience. Again, remember I tell you, John, let me tell you, Columbia County Sheriff Office, and I tell people this all the time, people don't understand the volume of work that we do here in Richmond County. When I say we're the largest full-service sheriff, let me just break that down to you for you. Columbia County, they answer about 86,000 calls for service. Columbia County Sheriff Office, which is a large sheriff's office, 86,000 calls for service. Richmond County, we answer over 423,000 calls every year. We also are a support agency, where I say our SWAT team, we cover 6 counties in Georgia. Our K-9 squad covers 15 counties in Georgia. Our bomb squad covers 15 counties in Georgia, to include South Carolina. Our biological tactical response team covers 23 counties in the state of Georgia. All that while answering 423,000 calls for service, and I run a 1,000-bed inmate facility. That's what the Richmond County Sheriff Office does. So, that's a lot of responsibility. You want to, and I ask the people, is that something you want somebody who's never led more than 5 people? Is that the responsibility you want to give somebody to? Because like you said before, let's say if the Lord said it ain't in for me next week, I live in this county. My kids live in this county. So it affects me too, because I still live in Richmond County. And my father still, like I said, lives a mile up the road. So, when I do decide to step down from sheriff, I hope that the person who is elected has been preparing themselves to lead this agency, like I tried to do for the last 12 years. So when I do decide that I am tired, then I hope that, like I say, is someone who's putting in the work right now, preparing himself to take over this agency.
So let me change the question around. So let's just say you don't win, and if you're not willing to endorse anybody, would you be willing to help train that person that comes in behind you?
Oh, like I said, if
training in any kind of capacity.
Yeah, I mean, if if the Lord say this is my time to step aside or whatever and stuff, it's about the betterment of this community. Like I said, I still live here. I have family members live here. My dad lives here. My kids come back here and visit here. So it has to be the safety of this community, and I'm not going to let ego or personal issues aside affect the safety of this community. One, like I said, I finish out the year doing the same things that we've been doing, putting these things in place. And if there's a transition, then absolutely I help someone transition. I don't foresee that happening because, like I said, I think the people have seen our body of work and support the work that we're doing, and I hope they continue to let us push them in that direction and seeing the great things that we're doing. But I'm always going to be about the community because, like I said, this community has given so much to me, so I would never do anything to harm it.
Okay, see you so at Barbershop Talk Live World again. You got any special comments, any special comment or questions? Give us a call at 706-426-1533. Again, that's 706-426-1533. All questions, no questions off limits. If it's on your mind, let's talk about it. We got another question from the floor?
Not a question, but a comment. With the last couple of minutes of the show, Will you please look into the camera and restate why we need to re-elect Sheriff Roundtree?
All right. All right.
Absolutely. Like I said, I've been putting in the work for the last 31 years for this community. Like I said, when I was the lead homicide investigator in child death cases that I worked when I went through the school board and helped run the school board police. And like I said, the last 12 years, the things that we put in place with the transparency. We went to body-worn cameras. We was the first ones in this area to go to body-worn cameras because I wanted transparency within this agency. Again, we have internal affairs division, a community service division. These are things we made this county sheriff office an accredited state and national accredited agency. All these things we've done, we've engaged the citizens of Richmond County, but we've done that together. And my success, even when, like I said, when I worked homicide, my success rate in homicide was because of the people, about the relationships that I had with the public, and we want to continue that relationship here in Richmond County. I believe in the city. I believe in this agency. I think we've done some great work over the last 12 years. We want to continue that work. I have a great team. When people see me out in the street and they say, hey, you're doing a great job, my response is always, I got a great team. And I do. I have an excellent team, and we want to continue to keep working for you, the citizens of Richmond County. And I'll be humbled if you elect me for the 4th term.
CSOA Barbershop Talk Live Real again. I got the treat, if you don't mind, by way of that guy behind the camera. He's talking in my ear. He say 6 more minutes. So I got to buy by what he tell me. So I thank God for that man. Just give me 6 more minutes. So listen, what about the visibility? So when I say visibility, I mean in a lot of different ways. We talk about the visibility in the schools. So when you talk about a lot of the school kids, you know, the younger age killing the kids, killing each other like that, can we bring back the old-fashioned truant officer? Can we go back to that? Can we go back? And also we talked about the visibility. What kind of ways that you all have or something that is in place for the commissioners, the DAs, the school systems to make sure when these kids go to school, the parents are safe, that the kids will be safe in these schools. Because so let's just say they see you walking down the hallway. They see you escorting the kids off the bus. What kind of visibility do we see, or should we see from the staff or from the security officer right here in the CSRA?
Well, they do have an essence of a truancy officer, but that's through the school board. Remember, the school board got their own police force.
Okay.
Remember, because I ran operation for 3 years. So they actually ones in charge of delinquency of kids not coming to school, serving the parents with notices, because they are accredited. And as a matter of fact, another note, Google note, the Richmond County was the first school system in Georgia to get their own police department. And that comes out of Richmond County. That's Google it. So they handle that part. Now our part is that we partner with them, of course, far as, like I said, we have a chance program where we go into schools in 5th grade and teach 5th graders throughout the year. So that's our portion of it through the sheriff office, and we've been doing that since I've been sheriff for the last 12 years. That program wasn't in place until I was elected sheriff in 12 years, and that has been extremely successful. Now, one of the things that we are looking at now, and just like with the national average before, when we was talking about, when I was coming up and working, they always wanted me to talk to high school kids, and we thought that's what we need to talk to, high school kids, and we realized that we wasn't getting them young enough. So the same thing with our chance program, but we're looking at it now, instead of from 5th grade, that we might need to push it back to 3rd grade. So that's something that we're looking at to try to get them even younger, because like I said, now when you got 13-year-olds who pulling triggers, we need to step it back. So, but then again, with overall safety, even though the school police is in charge, the primary entity for charge of school police, any major incidents, guess who's going to be there? Richmond County Sheriff Office. Like I said, when we had that shooting inside the school at Josie, who did you see there? Richmond County Sheriff Office. Who else did you see there? Sheriff Rich Roundtree was there. So we're going to be there as support, as well we should be. But the school board police is the primary security entity for them, and they also have their own truancy program and their tribunal process. So, but in it, I got a great relationship with the superintendent. I always had. With the other two that was here prior to Bradshaw. So he calls me up, anything stuff comes up. So we have a great relationship. So anything they need for us to support them, we're going to be there. So we're never going to walk away from that.
Now, what did you say, Tree, to those people that's watching, to those parents that's watching, to the community, neighborhood that's watching, to the ones that the kids have been missing for many, many weeks, months, and on time? What did you say to the ones that feel that you, when I say you, your office, is not giving them a satisfaction that you all are looking for their loved ones that's been missing for many weeks and also many years. So what assurance that you give those folks that don't know where their loved one is at when they coming back home, because they are literally doing the best they can, putting out signs, asking folks, but they are relying on the Richmond County Sheriff Department, and really they're relying on you. So is there any type of assurance that you can get those folks? Because when it comes down to it, I want to know where my kid is. I want to know where my son is at.
I understand, and like I said, John, I can't assure the I guess the best resolution or outcome of any tragic situation, and I would never do that to a person and give them false hope on that. But do know the fact that, just like I said, when I worked homicide, I didn't solve every case, but I worked. I never stopped working on them, and we're never going to stop working either. And people understand that it's their loved one, but we're trying to protect the entire community, and we're throwing every resource that we have about it. I know it gets frustrating because people say it happens to you, but it's a lot of heartache that's going on. We look for the best resolutions. When leads come up, we follow them. We have cold case units. The best assurance I can give is we're never going to turn down a lead. We're never going to turn down an opportunity. If we get something on a case, we're going to follow up on it. So I know the waiting is hard. Like I said, I did because I did it for 10 years. I know what it's like to sit there and they want to know why you haven't caught my killer. And the reality of it is we're not going to catch everybody. I mean, I'm sorry. That's the reality. And I ain't trying to be harsh and crass in it, but I don't ever give anybody false hope when I worked homicide. But I told them I'm going to work it until there's nothing else to work. And if something else comes back on it, I'm going to go back at it as hard as again. Because, when our mottos when I worked homicide, homicide investigators, we said we work for God. That was our motto. So I just tell people that we don't ever give up, but we do have to divert resources to active cases that we think we can solve or bring a good outcome to.
Again, Barbershop Talk Loud World, these are not my questions. I just want to see. Do you mind if I go to 12? I'm just skipping. I'm skipping.
Okay, long as you don't bring the envelope back.
We're going to put the envelope to the side. But question 12 is a simple question, and they told me that question 12, something that you said 12 plus years ago.
Okay.
So I'm bringing back to your memory, and I'm glad these folks had good memory, because there it is right there, question 12.
Okay.
Question 12 says that something that you said 12 years ago. You said during your campaign that you are running an open door policy. Mm-hmm. You said it. Mm-hmm. And we can roll the tape back because I watched it. Mm-hmm. You said, I'll have an open door policy. So for the ones that feel that you do not have an open door policy, I can't just go talk to my sheriff and give him my concerns, give him my questions that I need to, because I got to get on the waiting list. You didn't need my waiting list. We wanted my vote. So now I got to get on the waiting list, and they want to know, where is the open door policy that you preached on, that you stand on, that you told the CSOA and the Barbershop Talk Live World that you have. So apparently some of the people believe and feel there is no open door policy.
Well, everybody doesn't feel that way, John. And this is what I tell everybody too. It's only one of me. It's just one of me. I have a staff of 700. Give my people an opportunity to help you. That's what they're there for. That's what my staff is there for. That's what those deputies are there for. They're there to help you. I tell them, I say, and if you can't get no resolution there, then absolutely I see can I do what I can do to help you. But give my people an opportunity to help you. And that's like anything else, any chain of command anywhere else. You give people, you try to get things at the least common denominator. Because I tell you like this, John, even if you call me and you ask me about something that's happening, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to somebody else. I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to come out. I'm going to go to someone else. So how about, I try to put people in touch with the people who are going to help them, who's going to solve their problem. I use this analogy all the time before. When I have a best friend who runs a record service, and I told him, if I call and told him I'm broke down on the side of the road and a record truck comes, I don't care who's driving it. I just want the truck to come. I don't care who's driving.
Come get you.
Yeah, John, I want help.
Right, come get you.
My friend who owns the record company, he ain't got to be in the truck. Right. He sent the truck. That's all I need him to do.
Come get me.
Yeah, come. I called and send me some help. And that's what I do as administrator is I send people help. You tell people, well, I can't get to them. I ain't the only one who can help you. And I'm trying to get you to the people who can get you some help. That's what we try to do at the sheriff's office, is help people. But there's only one of me. And if I talk to every person who called up, John, if you come to my office and see, I couldn't put the phone down. But we try to put people in touch with people, either zone lieutenants, sergeants, my chief deputies. That's what their job for. If I handled all the problems, I wouldn't need a command staff of 20 people. It'd just be me.
So here's a question 12B. 12B. This kind of piggyback up what you said. So if that's the case, what is the process? You said that you can't really handle all the calls and all the people that come in. So if that's the case, what is the process of you evaluating those persons that you will give the information to or the task to? So we want to know is what's the process of hiring these deputies? What's the process of hiring these office workers to the point where we can feel that what we're asking for you to do will get done? Because sometimes, as you said before earlier, there's some of the deputies that's been getting arrested, that's been put in jail. So did you not evaluate these persons correctly, or you just filling positions?
No,
my question now. Okay. Now, treat these the people questions. This for the people.
I ain't blaming you at all.
I'm good. The people want to know. The people want to know.
No, one of the things we did look at when we were having these issues in our jail personnel, where these inmates were bribing these jailers to bring contraband into our jail. Once we found out that issue, then one of the things we did do that we did in fact increase our vetting process. We added some more layers to our vetting process where before we were doing background checks on the individuals, but we didn't go deep enough into their associates and their family members and that process. So that's one of the things that we changed. Another thing too, we started now looking more into their social media and for they can't screw up their pages and whatnot. So we've added a few more layers, and ever since then we haven't had any issues. So that was a wake-up call for us. We were doing our due diligence on background. We were doing polygraph. Every person gets a polygraph. So every person I hire passes a polygraph test about the character of that person. But unfortunately, like I said, we weren't looking at some of the other outside factors, exterior factors, who they hang with, who their friends hang with. You know, like we had an applicant the other day, and they asked about drug use, and they said, no, they don't do any drug use. How many of your friends do drugs or smoke marijuana? And they put all of them. You know, we were leaving that out before because we were just dealing on the individual. But then you think about it, if you got a person who every person they hang out with is doing drugs, even though they're not, the fact that you hanging out with somebody doing drugs, that may be your questionable character. So that's another layer that we added. So, and it seems it worked out for us. So, you know, again, it's a wake-up call for us. But now I think we're getting a better product of officers now.
Okay. Serious Story Barbershop Talk Live World. I appreciate you for joining this conversation. Listen, May the 21st.
Tuesday, yeah.
This coming Tuesday, you have a chance to exercise your right to vote. Many people have lost their lives for the chance to vote for their particular person that they feel can and will do the job. So this coming Tuesday, if you haven't already voted in early voting, you have a chance this coming Tuesday, May the 21st.
Absolutely.
May the 21st, exercise your right to vote. Again, Barbershop Talk Live is not endorsing anybody, not telling you which way to go, but I'm telling you, please, man, please, sir, go and vote. That's your job, that's your obligation, and I'm asking you to do that for yourself, not only for yourself, for your generation. So again, Barbershop Talk Live, we want to say thank you for tuning in to this special conversation. Wait a minute. He said 6 more minutes.
How can he say 6 more minutes and 6 minutes? And where can I get one of those at? Where can I get one of those?
I'm good. Media man, I'm just messing with the media man. But listen, also, this coming Tuesday, like we said before, May the 21st is election day. Different positions different people running for different positions, different commissioner seats, judges, any different things, sheriff, as we said before. So, mayor pro tem, different things, commissioners. So again, serious. Let me ask you this question before we get out of here. Mm-hmm. This is a pertinent question for the time that we are in right now. Do you, Tree, Sheriff, Richard, whatever you want to answer to, do you support the mayor having a vote?
Yeah, absolutely I do. But I also support the fact that we really need to look at a charter that's been kind of antiquated, you know, for the last 20-some years. You know, in 1996, Augusta looked a lot different. We need a lot of different things. So I think everything needs to change and be evolved and looked at over time. Just like the sheriff office has evolved, I think the mayor's office needs to evolve. I think our consolidation charter needs to evolve. So I don't think it should stop there. I think we should look at a whole lot of things as the city grows. We can't stay stagnant with one area of government if we're not willing to adapt and grow.
Okay, and I just want to. I mean, I hear you, Simon. I hear you. So again, just to reiterate for the ones that just tuning in, you are in favor of the mayor having a vote.
I'm in favor of the mayor's office, whoever the mayor is, and not just the mayor. The mayor's office, the position of mayor. Yes, having a vote in this government.
Okay, and you did state before, whatever happens this coming Tuesday for your position of race, you will be able to train or help or assist that particular person.
I'm not going to do anything to hurt my community, John. Never have. It's all about the community that I grew up in.
All right.
Absolutely.
CSOA Barbershop Talk Live World again. Thank you for tuning in to our special edition, or special Saturday edition of Barbershop Talk Live. We're here live at Jay's Place Barbershop, 1927 Olive Road. Listen, don't forget about May the 25th. J.R. Rouse is doing the end of the school year block party. Augusta Common. The times are from 1 to 6 p.m. Go down, have fun, free food, a lot of different things for the kids. Again, also laptops, bicycles, and scholarships will be given out to some of the kids in the area. Live music, entertainment. Again, my good friend J.R. Rouse been doing this thing for many, many years. Go out and support him. Donations, your face, your presence. We're glad to see you. That's May 25th, this coming Saturday. The times from 1 to 6. Again, June the 23rd, Payne College, 2 to 6 p.m. The Hill Complex is an angelic community resource, health and wellness fair. And also, don't forget about May the 21st. That's the most important thing I can tell you right now. May the 21st, exercise your right to vote. Go to I think it was downtown by now because the last day to vote was yesterday, early voting.
Yeah, you got to go to your precincts.
You got to go to your precincts. So again, this coming Tuesday, May the 21st, exercise your right that you need to do and you have. Get yourself down and vote. Again, it's not only for you. Not only for you, it's for your generations and the generation to come. So do that. Tree, you got any parting words for the season?
No, I mean I enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. Like I said, we got questions from the audience, and like I tell you, nothing was off limits. And I hope again that the answers I gave, they were from my heart. They were sincere. There's some things that we've been doing, and the things under my philosophy that we're going to continue to do. So, like I say, the people have entrusted me the last 12 years, and I just asked them for 4 more.
Okay, and you will appreciate you coming in. And again, he said he's not tired. He's not tired. He's still.
I'm not tired. I get frustrated sometimes at this community, but I'm never going to be tired of helping people.
So we are looking for a change at the gyms at the finishing road. We are looking for a major change and improvement of that facility.
Yeah, we've gotten. We're in the process of commission got approval to do the expansion and some of the improvements. We fixed the lock, so we're good to go on that. So a lot of the issues that we have fixed. They came up, but like I say. In any agency or any government or any business, when something comes up, you fix it. Just like in your house, if your plumbing go out, your heat go out, what you do? You fix it. I'm gonna get, and that's what we did. We had some things that got broke, but guess what? We went and fixed them. And that's what we do, and we're gonna continue to do that.
Listen, I can't get out here without giving you a challenge.
I thought you were reaching for the envelope.
No more.
Oh, I thought you were reaching for the envelope. Oh.
Barbershop Talk Live is obligated to give you a challenge. CSOA Barbershop Talk Live would not be remiss to give the sheriff a challenge right here in Barbershop Talk Live in our special edition. So listen, Tree, this is a challenge flag.
Oh, okay.
This is a challenge flag, and this come by way of the NFL Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's Google.
Okay.
That's Google. So
okay.
Listen, the way this challenge flag works, when I drop this flag on the floor, you have to meet and exceed the challenge. No matter what it is, you have to meet and exceed the challenge. You ready for this challenge?
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, Barbershop Talk Live World, the challenge flag is going to be dropped. Now listen, by that flag being dropped on the floor, you are being challenged that if the law is willing, that's what we say in Waycross. Okay. If the law is willing and you are successful to get your re-election to the sheriff, you have to continue to be into the school system, continue to be on the streets, keep the community safe. You have to also be visible. Be visible because we don't want to see you every 4 years. Mm-hmm. We want to see you every other week and every other month. We want to see you. So your challenge is to continue to keep these citizens of the CSOA safe at all times. And listen, we know you got a heavy load, but every now and then stick your head out the door and say, hey, how you doing?
Absolutely.
Every now and then go over in the Kroger, help old lady with her bags. Every now and then. See, we just want to see the sheriff visible. That ain't me. That's the Barbershop Talk Live World. That's your challenge. Are you able to keep that challenge?
Absolutely.
That's a simple challenge.
Oh. Well, I don't know if it's simple now, but it's a challenge. But hey, I think we all need to be more visible and more vigilant.
We need to be more visible, and also have a relationship with the community. Mm-hmm. That's part B of that challenge. Mm-hmm. Keep the communications going with the community. Let them know that they are safe, and in any way, when a family member is being missing or being abducted, get them some type of insurance. And it's also good to just see and hear your face. Mm-hmm. That's your challenge.
All right.
Good enough. That challenge?
Absolutely.
CSOA Barbershop Talk Live World, we have challenged the sheriff. Now it's time to challenge you. Listen, if you paid attention to this conversation, which I know you did, And I thank you for tuning in to Barbershop Talk Live. I'm going to challenge you. Listen, I got something for you. I got a $20 gift card. Listen, courtesy of Jay's Place Barbershop, 1927 Olive Road. Again, if you pay attention to this conversation, I got 3 simple questions for you. 3. You get all 3 questions right. This gift card belongs to you, courtesy of Jay's Place Barbershop. Listen, the first question is always a simple question. The first question is so simple you cannot get it wrong. You shouldn't get it wrong. You ought to get it right. The first question is, where is he from? Got to be more careful. That's what they say in Waycross. That's what they say.
In between that bologna sandwich?
In between that 5.
Okay.
Listen, that's the first question. The second question is a little more difficult. If you paid attention to the conversation, you cannot get the second question wrong. The second question is, what school did he graduate from? He said it. Did he say it? CSA Barbershop Talk Live. Well, I think he said it. The first question is, what school did he graduate from? Listen, I'm going to give it a little tricky. I'm going to get a little tricky. The third question is, how many years has he been in law enforcement? I believe he said if you paid attention to the conversation, listen, you get your gift card, put your question on the screen or give us a call at 706-426-1533. Again, that's 706-426-1533. Do I need to repeat the question? The question is, where is he from? That's the first question. The second question is, what college did he attend? Listen, here come the third question. Here come the trick. How many years has he been in law enforcement? If you got the question right, put the question on the screen or give us a call. Do we have an answer to the question?
Okay, so John the Barber Talk Shop, you have created some controversy because you changed your question.
Let's get it.
All right, so yes. So Karen, so Karen said you are from Augusta and you graduated from Josie.
College. Let's go college. I didn't say that. Okay, well, what you want to do?
You said school. I said both of them. I told you where I went to high school and I went to college. So we'll accept the answer. Either one.
Right,
so from Augusta, graduated from Josie, and Karen said you've been in law enforcement for 32 years.
Hold on. We got to go to the chief here. Okay, the first question is we say Augusta. That's the first one. And the second one he said Josie. And the third question is how many years you been in law enforcement?
You want me to get an answer? You want to get somebody?
What'd you say, Karen? How many years you got, Karen?
Karen said 32 years.
Okay, what'd you say, Chief?
She's incorrect.
Okay, we're gonna know she is correct. Listen, get back on the screen. Get back on the Facebook page. Again, the first question is what town is he from? The second question is just give us a school and what school he went to. And the third question is how many years he been in law enforcement. Listen, do we have a question? Answer to the question.
All right, Shabazz.
Okay, what you got, Shabazz?
Shabazz said Laney in 31.
Laney, you already disqualified.
Yeah.
Listen, again,
DJ.
The first question is simple. What town is he from? The second question is give me any kind of school he went to school at. And the third question is how many years he been in law enforcement. And listen, CSO, don't forget, next week on our special edition, we're going to have a special edition on Barbershop Talk Live. So I want you to get your note, get your pen, get your paper, tune in and jot down some notes because next week is going to be a show on the results.
Oh, yeah.
The next week's show, we'll have a results show. We're going to have a discussion on the results of May the 21st election. So I want you, and especially you to tune in, voice your opinions, give us your concerns, and then you can tell us why that person got voted in or that person got voted out. So again, next Wednesday, 6 o'clock on Barbershop Talk Live is the results show. We're going to have a live results show right here in Barbershop Talk Live. So if your person didn't get voted in, you tell us why. Your person did get voted in, you also tell us why. So again, next week on Barbershop Talk Live, it's going to be a live show. Call us back at 706-426-1533. We got another answer to the question? No answer to the question?
Yeah, we have several.
Okay,
I just want to make sure I'm going in the correct order.
Okay, what you got?
All right.
If they ain't got Augusta and if they
DJ said Augusta Laney 30.
All right, DJ.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
That's a thumbs down.
All right, Gregory, Augusta, Josie 30.
That's a thumb. Keep on. Listen, don't forget, keep tuning in to Barbershop Talk Live. I appreciate you for logging on. Now, what I need you to do, go to our YouTube page, like and subscribe our YouTube page. We need your likes, we need your hearts. And also, if you don't mind, while you're looking at me, give me a hug. Barbershop Talk Live. Listen, don't forget, the first question is, what town is he from? The second question is, what school did he go to? And the third question is, how many years he been in law enforcement? I'm telling you, if you paid attention to this conversation, you should not get neither of these questions wrong. Barbershop Talk Live is always live. So next week, don't forget, is a result show. Barbershop Talk Live is going to do an all results show where we're going to talk about the results of the election. You want to come in and sit in Barbershop Talk Live and get in our audience? Please, ma'am, please, sir, please do that. We don't have no problem with that. But you want to give us a call with your answer to the results, you can do that also. And listen, don't forget, exercise your right to vote. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. Do we have an answer to the question? Any more answers to that question? If not, listen, this is a $20 gift card that me and my wife can use if you don't get the question correctly. We'll be glad to use this again. First question is, what town is he from? What city is he from? The second question is, what school did he go to? And the last question is so simple, you shouldn't get it wrong. He said it multiple times. How many years has he been in law enforcement? Listen, $20 is going to be some gas, or we're going to get some to eat. So you don't have the question correctly, please, ma'am, please, sir, continue to log on to Barbershop Talk Live. Remember, next week is a result show. All the results of the election we bring right here live. Tree, any parting words, anything you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
No, I enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
All right. No more answer to the question? No more answers? Again, let's do it one more time before we get out of here. First question is, what town is he from? Second question is, what school did he go to? You can give me a high school, or you can also give me a college. Third question is, how many years has he been in law enforcement? I'm telling you, before we go, I want to let the CSOA citizens know that I just got taken care of my speeding ticket by way of...
Oh, all right. Now we gone. Now we're done.
By way of...
Now we're done. Now we are done.
So if you see Roundtree...
If you see Jay Shop shut down next week, you'll know why.
Listen, get your questions correctly. $10, $20, just 3 simple questions. 3 simple questions. You got the questions correct. Let's get the questions and put on the screen. Listen, next week, don't forget the results show. Barbershop Talk Live right here. Listen, True, you ready to get out of here?
Let's kick it.
All right, look into that camera. Tell the CSOA Barbershop Talk Live world. Let's do it together. Ready to do it together? Come on up.
Gotta
Ready?
get a little close. Okay.
Ready? See you later.
We're live. Yes, live from James Place. And we're talking,
Barbershop Talk.
yes, barbershop talk, where nothing is off limits, everything's on the table.
Barbershop Talk. Barbershop Talk.
Barbershop Talk.
Barbershop Talk.
Barbershop Talk.
At Jay's Place.
Barbershop Talk.
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 At Jay's Place. Barbershop Talk.
Everything's on the table.